interestingly. So thank you so much, all of you who are logging in. And okay, hi Saloni. If my connection is coming in, Saloni, actually, you were fairly responsible for my wanting to do this talk because I'd seen it in Delhi and immediately got COVID. And then a little while later, I saw your pictures on it. And it was a topic which was, I'd already looked at it. And I really, really want to do it. So I'm really glad that Shireen's agreed to do it. Can you guys hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me or not. Could somebody just reply, okay, somebody sent a love sign. So let me see if I can get Shireen on. Um, okay, no. Perfect. Thank you. I'm hoping Chemould is going to join me shortly. Motifs and symbols in Mughal architecture. Okay. I want to go back to Mughal. There were a couple of topics that I really want to look at in Mughal. I hadn't thought about motifs and symbols, but yeah, okay. Could possibly be a topic. Let me see. Okay, I'm leaving this on, but I'm going off to WhatsApp to see where Shireen is. Okay, so for those of you who know Ghulam Saab's work, I'm going to show it to you also so that you have an idea of the work that we're talking about. It's much as I love Ghulam Saab's work over the years, this exhibition is fantastic. But at the same time, this, honestly speaking, is not my favorite work in the exhibition, even though it is the piece that the exhibition is named after. The reason I say it's not my favorite piece, despite the way that it stays with you and the amount of detail there is in it, and the various figures out of history that you're looking at, uh, what it, yes, Chemound's joined. Let me just see if I can add them now.
Chemould, could you also just see if there's some button you can press to say join the live? There's one at the bottom in a video thing. As I said, the sheer detail in this, and it's across time and space, which makes it so interesting. Now, Ghulam Saib is, as you all know, a pedagogist, but he's also firstly an art historian, and then he's a painter. As far as I'm concerned, that is the order. And he's always worked out of MSU, out of uh, the Baroda School. In fact, he's one of the founders of 1847, which was the he's unable to join. Okay. Can you, Chemould, can you just see if you can ask to join? Yes, I have a request. Request. Live. Almost there, guys. Hi,
Hi.
Shireen.
Hi. Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. So I'm going to just quickly introduce Shireen, who is she runs Chemould. She's also the daughter of Keku Gandhi, who is the founder of Chemould. Now we go back in time. How far back does Chemould go, Shireen?
60 years. We started in 63. So last year, so this year will be 61.
61 years of
Yeah.
an uh, art gallery in India, which has worked with the most famous and the best known artists in India. I mean, you can't think of a progressive who hasn't shown at Chemould. You know, Keku Gandhi was personally connected to so many elements. And the last time I interacted with you, Shireen, we had another connection, which is that Mannat originally, there was a connection to Shah Rukh Khan's Mannat as well.
What did you want to know about Manna?
Sorry, there was a connection to Mannat as well, right? For Keku Gandhi and for you.
Are you more interested in Shah Rukh Khan or in Ghulam Sheikh? Anyway, yeah, Mannat was originally Villa Vienna, and it was built by my father's mother's father, so maternal grandfather. And yeah, it was actually my father was born in Villa Vienna, and many years later, Shah Rukh Khan bought it through. It went through a completely. We didn't sell it. It went through different sources. So yeah, that's my connection with Shah Rukh Khan and Mannat. And we are now his neighbors, of course, because we live right next door. So we had a crazy Eid celebration outside our house yesterday.
I can imagine. Yesterday must have been interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just like, it's unadulterated, abundant love that we feel.
Okay, back to unadulterated Ghulam Sahib love, if I can, because I think as much as you, I'm one of his greatest fans.
Of Ghulam, yeah. So we are same here, both Ghulam, Nilima, treasured artists of our time, and I'm so privileged to have this exhibition of Ghulam in the gallery. I mean, incidentally, we are old friends of my parents, but it's the first solo exhibition that I'm hosting, that Chemould is hosting. It's of course a Madeira gallery show, but in Bombay we are privileged to be showing Ghulam, and it's really such a. It's just wonderful because what's happening is that an exhibition like this brings a whole new audience. There are students all the time that very nerdy young college students taking notes. They obviously have references, so it's really quite lovely to be in the gallery with people all the time. A gallery doesn't have footfall, and the month of April, we seem to be quite busy, so it's really wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, so should we discuss this particular painting? And after that, can I ask you when Ghulam Sahib was doing this walkthrough and I wasn't there, and I was really jealous and I had major FOMO of not being there to see Ghulam Sahib talk about his work. But I'm going to ask you to, once you finish explaining this painting, because you know this painting well, I'll ask you what else Ghulam Sahib added to the exhibition when he was there 2 days ago. But let's start with this painting first.
Yeah, the thing is that I will in some way repeat what Ghulam has said, of what I can remember. Of course, he said a lot. He spoke for about 20 minutes just on this one work. We stood here. It was a 2-hour long walkthrough that he conducted without pause. But so I don't. I mean, what I will say is what I've garnered from Ghulam. He comes from such a strong art historical sort of, his lineage is so rich that somebody who hasn't studied art history, honestly, his works become tableaus of what one can know more. And really that's what Ghulam is. He's not only philosopher, teacher, writer, he is that through the work, I feel, I mean, he carries with him his sort of, you know, his teachings are in some way in the work. So just to go on to go to this work, which is called Karawaan. Karawaan is carrier, voyage, journey, caravan, and what Ghulam really, there are three things that he talked about here. He talked about one, of course, the journey. the journey of travel. And incidentally, the title came after he made the work. But what he talks about here is one is the journey, and two, the wonderful thing about dreaming. He said one can dream about whatever you want, whoever you want to take on this journey with you. And, uh, and, and that was such an essential and beautiful kind of poetic way to bring in your fellow travelers through your work, through your dreams, and everyone that has been in some way essential, influential, mentored, are all part of this absolutely expansive, beautiful painting. Um, and the
So, do we start at
third
one end and go to the other, or how are we going to do this?
Start at one end.
Yeah. So no, I'm just talking a little more. And the third thing that he talks about in this work is Lensuk. And Lensuk's work, Crossing the Ganges. Lensuk, of course, favorite of from Goswami so influential to so many artists who work in this style. So he talked a lot about Lensuk and crossing the river Ganges, and really about the whole voyage of the of this art. We begin here with it's such a long, expansive work, but here are his dream follow travelers. If you go close, I mean, you can go as contemporary as William Kentridge, living wonderful artist from South Africa. You have, of course, Vincent van Gogh. You have our own Hussein. You have your Sousa, a great
Up
favorite
here.
of F.N. Sousa here. A great favorite of Ghulam is Piero della Francesca. He's just come back from an amazing trip in Italy, following Piero's murals. So there's Piero here. There is Bellini here. There's Goya here. There is Rabindranath Tagore there, and so on, and these are really his sort of.
Caravaggio there. I can see Caravaggio. I can see Mansoor. I can see. So, I mean, we are. It's time and space, right? There's no particular age. There's no particular.
No,
There are
so,
artists and writers.
no, this is just the artists, okay? So we'll
Okay.
come to the writers. So here
Okay.
are the artists. It's essentially this end is weighed down by 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 artists and art history. As you go further into the work, again his tableau of beloved. You have here Gandhi. You have here our famous friend with,
Rupin.
yes, with his gun. You have here modernists. You have Picasso. You have Frida Kahlo, Diego. And then you go into the tableau of paintings and people that have, you have here the famous the miniature of the the, the with her sitar. I mean, this is the most famous kind of iconic work from a miniature painting, and um, for those who know Ghulam, you know that one of his biggest sort of influential mentors was Vinod Bihari Mukherjee, and you have this mural here from Shantiniketan. But if you go further back, what
I was just
what
studying this today. Was this not also one of the um, one of the four main uh, artists of Shantiniketan? Did he not do this whole relief sculpture of uh, medieval priests on one of the walls of Shantiniketan?
don't ask
I
me
mean,
that.
okay, very familiar. Of course, there's
Okay,
Kabir on his side as well.
and yeah, and then just go back a little. But what he talked about was when they were making this work, what would hold the central portion? You have this on the right, art history, all his artists there. But here you have what was the speaking tree, and that came quite in the beginning, and we'll come to that, how he arrived at that even through his drawings. And you have not writer friends, but you have writers here. So those who can recognize, please. I think this is Kalburgi. This is Gauri Lankesh. You have Tagore. Any others
Again?
that you can find? You have. Anyway, uh, so this is
Okay.
basically speaking tree here. And then you go further down, again you have art historical references, you have Amrita here. We talked a lot about how artists were painted and then perhaps removed. So the process of placing and removing figures and even whether it was whether they were art historical references. There was a lot of sort of back and forth before it came to this. He talked a lot about balance. You have here,
So that's Anshila, that's Amrita Shergill right there.
yeah, right
Huge
there.
Amrita Shergill,
Yeah.
definitely.
And here you have the death of Saint Francis
Okay.
by Giotto. You and I talked this morning about this, which I'm still trying to figure, but it's such a famous reference.
All of
So
us
you
are
have,
trying to remember that one because it's on the tip of my tongue, but I know it's called the Chinese Princess. I don't know anything more. If anyone remembers more about that, please let us know.
but this is the beautiful part of the work of how, there is no kind of inhibition. It feels so. I mean, it's like Ghulam, right? The way he kind of expresses himself, the way he sort of navigates, his own art history. I mean, this work is really about it. And of course, many works in the past as well, but it's really about this man who holds all these people in his head that has sort of come out in this just amazing tableau here. Here you have, this is oftentimes architectural facets in Ghulam Sheikh's work. Here you have reference as recent as now to Gaza. And we know that Ghulam's registers move from ancient art history to contemporary. Obviously, that is on every artist's mind today. And then you come to this portion, which is the other end of the arc. And, how do you balance that heaviness, that weightiness of the artist? You have your a kind of forest, trees and painted in miniature style. And so you have that kind of balancing to go back again.
But Shireen, you've also got stuff in the air and in the water. So right at the other end, you've got this one lady in the air who is very interesting, and I don't know if she's supposed to be a muse. No, the white lady in white above Rabindranath Tagore and company.
Yeah.
No, the lady in the white above. Yes, yes,
Yes.
no, this one. Yes.
This one?
So yes.
Yeah. So yes, this is again, I mean, water. So I mean, the essential part of this work really is the voyage, is the water, and I believe the water took close to something like 3 months just to paint. All this guy was seeing was blue, and then you have the sky up here, but
Oh, beautiful.
yeah. I think just look at the work for what it is now because
Yes.
so close
A Farishta.
these details. And you know, you have this and then you have this juxtaposed right next to it. And then you have this as commonplace, really kind of this appears a lot in his work. The demon and the angel.
Oh, okay. they're sitting under the tree with the speakers on it. So very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I'm sure they. I don't know the connection. Are they not letting the speakers come down from the tree? Are they
And
waiting to eat the fruits of the speakers? I'm not sure which one it is.
it's quite keen that, I mean, he's not very, like, of course he loves, he's so educated when he talks about the work, but he doesn't want to, like, point out, oh, this is from this reference. He was not very keen to do that. So I guess he's leaving us to imagine, to learn, to make our own, connections. From this, I want to take you straight to the drawings, just because this is fresh in your mind, just to give you a sense of his process of how he arrived at this Raj Bhavan. Okay? So we just walk there.
Thank you.
This is a separate room by itself. This panel. Yeah. So here you have the very first drawing he made. It's basically preparatory drawings with along, some of them are digital in the process of making Karawaan. So this is the first ever drawing, with the grid. If you see, it's just filled with people. The tree is not here. There's hardly any architecture. There is a bit here, but this was the very, very first imagination of the drawing, of the painting. And then you have this one, and this is the first time the tree appears. And the tree is the one steady thing that you will see, like this disappears. I mean, some of these buildings are there. Some, it's not at all like this, but architecturally there's a bit of it. No people, like the heaviness of people is not here. This is there. So you see a little bit of that. The clouds are up here. A little bit of how the water will be rendered is here.
But this is a very heavily architecturally. I mean, it's filled with architecture. This particular piece.
This seems very heavy on architecture. If you see,
Yeah.
so, which it isn't. Somehow, it's much more laden with artistry and people. Here it seems more laden. So you just see the first person, and here you have Gandhi. You come here again. The grid of architecture seems to dominate. Gandhi remains, tree remains, people not there, trees have disappeared. So again, this is the third render. And these are all hand drawings, by the way. And then you come here and you have, again, tree remains, Gandhi remains, again, quite different. And this is there, this has appeared. This is very much there, in that work.
Yeah.
No landscape here. So this was a kind of, this is what we have as the fourth. And then once he's more clear, he gives you on gateway paper to, creating some sense of scale. So these are again, so here you see the Vinod Bihari mural a little bit. Here you have this image, which is Amrita Shergill here. So, these keep appearing and disappearing through the war.
Do you know how long it took him to make this artwork?
1.5 years.
1.5
years, but non-stop. He said even Sundays it didn't take off. So, and then again,
At 87, that's quite a lot.
Yeah. So like for art, he's very open about the fact that there's a wonderful sense of acknowledgement, both in Nilima and Ghulam. Ghulam has, clearly 4 to 5 assistants. The ones who draw the faces are very particular, so that is a one particular body for getting that kind of tonalities, etc. So this is again another, and then you go into the architecture part. It's the drawings of that. So this is all part of Karawaan. And then these are, they take photographs of the Karawaan and, take out and then reimagine them on smaller scale to see what will remain with a little bit of drawings on top. So this is continuing with the process.
I had wondered if he'd used stencils for a lot of it, but these drawings are showing that it wasn't stencils. That it's actually, his hand is that beautiful.
Yes. And
Wow.
these are again digital prints of the thing again to reimagine
So
to see
the dying
that
Inayat
in front
Khan
of
came and went.
huh?
The dying Inayat Khan is in this version, but not in the final version.
Okay.
The one on a little to your left. So, yes, this one.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a very famous Akbari painting.
And then here is the near complete. So here you see, look here, you see some of the drawings, and here he kind of, some of the faces came and went. So you
Yes.
see a little bit of that. You see Piero here, but Kentridge is not here, So this is again all near complete, but not quite. Here the speaking tree doesn't have all the heads, there's just been plots. So again, a photograph, half done. This is, the trees are a little different here, maybe. Piece there.
So how big is this piece? Because this seems almost the same length as the final piece. No, much shorter, much smaller. Okay. Much smaller, but still.
Yeah.
Gosh!
Let's go to the wheel and this work is called Francis and Kabir, because there are two ends. This is, we all know from Ghulam, those who know, Ghulam is very, very, very interested in maps. He was for the longest time doing what we know as Mappa Mundi, where he was again bringing his walls in and using digital technology as bringing in Kabir, Francis, Piero, Mr. Renaissance, etc. Here is a sort of large rendition of the 13th century map. Again, bringing his walls in. You have Francis here, and you have Kabir there. And again, so in the 13th century map was originally Jerusalem, but here you have Aleppo. So, again, bringing in his own contemporary sort of sense of where we are today. And then you have, again, scenes from everyday life, but also mixed with. Um, I really wish I knew all these references. One day I will find out. Again, you have Gandhi there. So I think it's just great to see this painting in all its details. So you can just
Absolutely. And actually, you're showing it in far more detail than when I actually saw it. Then, because it's on a wall, you're not able to pay so much attention to the details. It's until you really zoom in with the camera. Actually, oh, beautiful! Amazing. How, at the age of 87, does he have the eyes to do this work?
Yeah. And also, I just feel like his encyclopedic brain is so rich, and that richness is what is so beautifully kind of Should we go to the boxes in the Karawaan?
Are you taking me across to what I want to see? Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
To Karawaan, this is the first this is a kawat that he has made, which is in response to the big Delhi, the flood in Baroda. Not too long ago, I'm not sure of the year, but really this is, Baroda, he kept opening this box. And you know that there are, at the end of the day, 50 paintings in this one box. So, you can, every folds up and closes. He's not very keen that people touch it, but since the galleries can do it. But basically, everything has, um, you know, his, each one individual drawing will again come back to those.
She needs a portable mic. Yes. Okay.
You can't hear me?
Uh, okay, Shireen, you're not very audible at this point. You were in the other room, but not in here. So, uh, would it be at all?
Just come here. Maybe let's go back. So here he has this scene, and then it comes to a very kind of fun snakes and ladder.
I'm not an artist, but I presume painting directly on wood, and especially this kind of detail on wood, could not be easy.
Yeah.
Venus to Cups, yes, just to look at this is exquisite. It's really exquisite. I know the sound isn't too great right now, but that's actually a problem with a lot of galleries, that the acoustics aren't the greatest. So that is something we have to live with. Yes, this is moving it.
Come on. Let's go to this one. So this is called lands violated, and the one right down to the up here we have
Shireen, it's not clear. Neither the sound nor the painting is clear. Okay, better.
up here.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Now we can see you also.
Yeah.
See the
So
painting.
up here is Ukraine.
Okay.
In the middle, reference of a miniature, somehow ravaged, and then you come down, and here you have Gaza. And this is a recto verso. So this side you have, it's called the Conference of the Birds, of course, and you have every variety of the Indian bird here. So it's a very beautiful kind of, I mean, what's happening in the world, and sort of birds, let birds take over, let birds sing, let birds be the narrators of our time with their sound. So it's a very beautiful kind of juxtaposition between the back and the front.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. For somebody who asked, the catalog isn't ready yet, but the show is going to New York as well. So there is a sorry. Oh, all this is Ghulam Sahib's work. I mean, you
Yeah,
can tell with the details. Who's asking me? Who's the artist? This is all Ghulam Mohammed Sheikh's work.
yeah. So, and maybe then what we do is we just we'll look at this work, and then maybe just quickly walk you around the space so you get a sense of what is there and the juxtapositions around each work. So this one is called
Beautiful.
Monsoon. And you have what is really a very rich night sky, and what
That's
what
that's Majnu with the animals in the forest.
yeah.
They emaciated Majnu with the animals in the
Yeah.
forest.
And then you have this kind of very kind of dense forest with all its trees, with the glowing lights, a very, very good Ghulam like typical, the way he paints foliage. And then on the other side, at the back, let's go back and you have here the night tree. So again,
Who is
it's
it?
it's Majnu in the forest and the night tree. Again, symbolic, looking at the forest at night, looking at the tree at night, sort of just getting close to the sense of how deep dark the forests are through this back and front.
What a whimsical little piece. I mean, okay, not completely whimsical. So all that is within the tree. So every
Yeah.
element is within the tree.
And then you have here, you have what is called Das Daraja, Das Darwaze. You have this technique of window frames. Then you see the moon shining through. Very apt for Ramzan yesterday. And then you have
I have no words. Looking at this is almost as good as going out into nature myself.
this is called On the Prowl with this strange animal that is sort of prowling through the forest. And then this sort of pans down to deer outside in the sort of, in the open area of the forest. So basically, just give it to me. The show looks like this, just to give you a sense of how we see this one. This is called the back of Das Darwaze.
This could be an Udaipur painting of a hunt.
And so just to give you again a sense of the way of the show. One last look at this. This is the earliest kawad, again of maps. Gujarat, his own, this is Gujarat. Early Mahatma looking digital map in there.
How does he even make these?
Lovely light in there, you know.
Oh, amazing. Truly amazing. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of artists who joined in, and I hope this just inspires you, because I know as a writer, this is very inspiring for me. How do you bring topics like Gaza and Palestine and into the beauty that is miniature art and tell stories?
Tell
You know, it's not one or the other.
he is totally a
Very.
storyteller. And then you have this kawat, which is, it's called, I'll tell you what the name is in a minute, but this is about, you know, the incessant development and the useless development. City blues. City blues, and it's really about the way development happens within a city, destroying nature. And then you have this lovely dark insect here, which he was quite keen that it gets seen. Right. Keeps appearing. It's in the big Karawaan painting as well. Wonderful how kind of he goes back and forth with his own imagery. And then you have this patch of green here. This is the only patch of green in this particular one. And last but not the least, I'll just take you back to the wooden room, and we'll end with Gandhi.
Thank you. I'll tell you why to me this is so important, because sitting in Delhi where I am, there are Gandhi is more or less being erased from our memory here, at least in Delhi. I don't know how it is in the rest of India, but this is just such, seeing it in Delhi, seeing it in Bikaner House where he would have been, this was just such an important memory and a reminder to me. So, and it's just so beautifully done. I don't see Gandhi here any longer.
So these are very iconic Gandhi images, you know, that we all know, which are sort of juxtaposed within this Karawaan box. And, you know, Karawaan is generally imagining the Ramayana, the Mahabharata. So it's such a wonderful way to that Ghulam sort of interprets his own stories through these. There you have Sabarmati Ashram. Lovely.
in completely miniature style.
Yes.
I love the way he juxtaposes. I mean, he moves from
Yeah.
contemporary style to miniature style and back again, and the topics, and there's such a rhythm to it. I wonder if he works to music, because I mean, how do you get up in the morning and decide what you're going to be making?
So yeah, so that's basically what Karawaan and other works is about. Nothing will capture it through this little medium of a phone, but I hope that you've enjoyed the afternoon looking at this master, and thank you so much for making this
Thank
possible.
Thank you, Shireen. It was so kind of you, and to take on a subject like Ghulam, that's really, really tough to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you.
Bye.
Bye.